Let's start with some nightmare fuel. If your vitamin D is running on empty, your jaw isn't just a little weak, it's literally dissolving while you sleep. Ew, not a metaphor. Your alveolar bone, the scaffold that keeps your teeth locked in place, thins out when vitamin D is low. Translation? Wobbly teeth, gums that retreat like a bad hairline, and a bite collapsing like a discount lawn chair at a family barbecue. And the worst part? You don't even feel it. No warning sirens, no stabbing pain. Just a slow-motion demolition under your gums until one day your dentist tilts their head and says, implants might be your new retirement plan. Yikes. See, vitamin D isn't just about bones or getting some sun. It's the master switch for your oral immune system. With enough D, your mouth cells pump out antimicrobial bodyguards, things like LL37 and beta-defensin 3, microscopic bouncers keeping periodontal thugs like P. gingivalis out of the VIP section. Without D, poof, they vanish and inflammation parties all night in your gums. Whoa! And studies keep showing the same thing. People with gum disease have consistently lower vitamin D than those with healthy mouths. Coincidence? Meh, not likely. So here's the bottom line. Low D equals weaker bone, lazy defenses, and inflammation running wild in the one place with a direct highway into your bloodstream. Stick around because by the end, I'll show you the D3 move that locks calcium into your jaw instead of your arteries. Boom. Your immune system and your smile? Yeah, they both need this. And speaking of smiles, ever wonder who's supposed to keep your jawbone from collapsing in the first place? Spoiler, that job belongs to vitamin D. And let's just say your architect's been skipping work. Here's the thing about your jaw. It's not just bone, it's architecture. A masterpiece that keeps your teeth from playing Jenga in slow motion. And the lead architect, vitamin D. Without it, the whole blueprint gets shredded. Vitamin D is basically your calcium traffic cop. When levels are solid, it waves calcium into the right neighborhood. Teeth, bones, jawline. Without it, calcium goes rogue, wandering into places it doesn't belong. Ever heard of tartar buildup on teeth or plaque in arteries? Yeah, that's calcium crashing the wrong party. And let's talk immune backup. Vitamin D isn't just holding the blueprints, it's also hiring security. It activates osteoblasts, the builders that reinforce bone, while calming down the trigger-happy osteoclasts that break bone down. With low D, the builders get furloughed, the wrecking crew gets overtime. Boom. That's jawbone loss on autopilot. Studies keep piling up on this. Patients with low serum vitamin D don't just lose bone density in their spine or hips, they lose it right under their gums too. And once that alveolar bone shrinks, teeth don't just get loose, they check out. Click, gone. Now here's where it gets ugly. Low D doesn't work alone. Oh no, it loves to tag team. If vitamin D is the architect, it's missing two key coworkers, vitamin K2 and magnesium. Without them, even good levels of D can backfire. But don't get ahead of yourself. We'll pull that triangle heist in a minute. For now, picture your jawbone as a skyscraper. With D, it's solid steel and concrete. Without D, it's Lego blocks left in the rain. Alright, here's the plot twist nobody tells you. Vitamin D3 isn't a solo superhero. Nope. On its own, it's more like Batman without Alfred or Robin, brooding, moody, and accidentally burning Gotham to the ground. See, D3's main job is simple. Pull calcium into your bloodstream. Cool, right? Wow. Except, if that calcium doesn't get told where to go, it doesn't end up in your teeth or your jaw. Instead, it goes full squatter's rights in your arteries, kidneys, or gums. Congratulations, you've just swapped osteoporosis for heart disease. Enter vitamin K2, the traffic cop. It's the one waving calcium into the right neighborhood, bones and teeth, and flipping the bird at arteries. Without K2, calcium goes rogue. Then there's magnesium, the silent foreman. It's the cofactor that actually activates vitamin D in the first place. No magnesium? D3 just sits there like an intern waiting for instructions. Here's the kicker. Studies suggest over half of adults are magnesium deficient. And most people never eat K2-rich foods. Think egg yolks, grass-fed butter, or that fermented soy called natto. So even if you're supplementing with D3, you could be setting yourself up for tartar on your teeth, plaque in your arteries, and bone loss in your jaw. Meh, not the glow-up you were promised. So yeah, D3 alone isn't enough. It needs its squad. Think of it as the nutrient Avengers. D3 calls the calcium. K2 directs the traffic. Magnesium makes sure the whole plan doesn't collapse. Leave one out, cue disaster montage. And here's where things get messy, because when this triangle breaks down, gum disease goes from annoying to system-wide sabotage. Here's the ugly truth. Once that D3K2 magnesium triangle cracks, gum disease doesn't just nibble at your gums. It drags your entire jaw into a silent spiral. And trust me, spirals aren't fun unless we're talking ice cream. See, periodontal disease is sneaky. Your gums get inflamed. They bleed a little. Meh. You shrug it off. But under the surface, the bone that anchors your teeth, the alveolar bone, is thinning out like cheap paper towels under a leaky faucet. No pain, no warning, just erosion on autopilot. Drip, drip, drip. Here's why. Without vitamin D running the immune switchboard, your body loses its balance between builders, osteoblasts, and wrecking crews, osteoclasts. The wreckers don't clock out. They tear down bone faster than you can rebuild it, and your jaw quietly loses its foundation. Studies have shown this isn't rare. Patients with chronic periodontitis consistently show lower vitamin D levels than those with healthy gums. In fact, one review found low D can make gum disease more severe and speed up alveolar bone loss. Translation: your jaw doesn't crumble overnight, but year after year, the scaffolding gives way until your teeth go wobbly. And here's the kicker. Once bone is gone, it doesn't just grow back. Nope. That's like expecting your demolished garage to rebuild itself while you binge Netflix. But this spiral doesn't stop at your smile, because when calcium starts crashing in the wrong places, it's not just your teeth at risk, your arteries are next in line for sabotage. Here's where the story takes a grim detour. The calcium your jaw should have kept is now playing squatters in your arteries. They latch onto vessel walls, spit out toxins, and basically tell your blood flow, nope, not today. That means less oxygen to your heart, higher blood pressure, and a cardiovascular system about as relaxed as a chihuahua on triple espresso. Cute? Not when your arteries are being throttled like garden hoses in a kid's water fight. Dr. Doug Thompson lays it down. Up to 40% of cardiac issues can be linked to oral bacteria. 40%. That's not a footnote. That's half your family tree lining up for stents because of what's hiding under their gums. Now, fix gum disease and what happens? Those inflammatory markers in your blood, like CRP, actually start dropping, which means, yes, your arteries chill out when you evict the mouth mafia. Who knew floss could be a cardiovascular intervention? Wow, and here's where things get awkward, because arteries aren't the only pipes calcium loves to sabotage. Blood flow doesn't just feed your heart, it fuels everything, including the southern machinery. And when your vessels are locked up tighter than an airport bathroom, date night doesn't exactly go according to plan. So yeah, your gums aren't just plotting against your smile, they're coming for your confidence. If you're still here, comment a vein bucket. Let's see how many brave souls admit their plumbing deserves better maintenance. Alright fellas, this is where things get personal and a little awkward. Because arteries aren't the only pipes these bacteria and calcium misfires mess with. If blood flows through it, they'll sabotage it. And yes, that includes your hydraulics. Uh-oh, here's the reality check. Erectile function is just engineering, it's hydraulics. Blood has to rush in, pressure has to build, and vessels have to stay wide open. Now guess what happens when oral bacteria and chronic inflammation keep whispering, stay tight, don't open up fully to your blood vessels? Exactly. You've got a romantic evening scheduled, and your arteries RSVP'd, nope. Ew. Dr. Victoria Sampson drops the hammer. Men with gum disease are 2.85 times more likely to have erectile dysfunction. That's almost triple the risk. Why? Because the same vascular chokehold stressing your heart is also throttling the Southern Confidence supply line. And the cruel part? Most guys shrug off bleeding gums because it doesn't hurt. Neither does high blood pressure. Until it does. So yeah, ignore your mouth, and you might end up blaming stress, when the real culprit is chronic gum inflammation quietly shutting down your hydraulics. Imagine losing date night, not because you forgot the flowers, but because you skipped the floss. Quick challenge: if your gums have ever bled and you brushed it off as normal, comment a smile. Let's see how many of us have been ignoring red flags for years. And if you think that's the end of the bacterial hit list, think again. These microscopic squatters have been caught loitering inside cancer tissue, and the story gets darker from here. Just when you thought mouth bacteria had maxed out their rap sheet, they're showing up in tumors like uninvited squatters. Yep, Fusobacterium nucleatum in breast cancer, colorectal cancer, you name it. Researchers keep catching these bugs where they don't belong, and when they're there, cancers grow nastier and shrug off treatment. Ugh. But don't tap out yet, because this isn't a horror show without a survival plan. You can fight back. Brush twice daily, floss like you mean it, and quit nuking your mouth with that neon blue antiseptic rinse. Studies suggest those rinses can slash nitric oxide by 90%, the very molecule that keeps your blood pressure in check. So yeah, fresh breath might be costing you your heart health. Better moves? Xylitol mints to starve the worst bugs. Fiber to keep your oral and gut microbiomes texting sweet nothings. Green tea to act as your legal microbial hitman. Small shifts, huge dividends. And here's your payoff from the start. That one thing you do every morning making it worse? It's blasting your good bacteria with mouthwash right after brushing. Congrats, you're firing your immune allies before their shift even starts. Which brings us to the next bombshell. Mouthwash isn't just wrecking your microbiome, it's wrecking your entire health. Blood pressure spikes, arteries tightening, immune sabotage. You've been sold minty fresh while your body's been burning. Hit subscribe, drop a bomb in the comments if you want the full mouthwash expose, and buckle up. Because in the next episode, we're turning your bathroom routine into a crime scene.